सपने आपके, लैमिनेट्स हमारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ड्रीम लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा।
वेलकम टू AU वीडियो बैंकिंग।
यहाँ बैंक के सारे काम हो सकते हैं। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। AU स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up. It's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. Powered by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3 universities globally.
Amity University has been conferred the Intellectual Property Award 2023 by the Confederation of Indian Industry CII for its patent portfolio, a reflection of Amity's commitment to research and innovation. With over 250 granted patents, 33 faculty in the Stanford top 2% scientists of the world, and an H index of 133.
Hi. What's that? That's a Manish Malhotra.
Not your dress.
The cupboard. The laminate is a Manish Malhotra design.
Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra. Fashion for your furniture.
Live it up, live it up.
Four walls don't make a home. A home is made with your loved ones and their dreams. All we do is stand by you. After all, it is you who turns a house into a home. SBI Home Loans, always a friend in your journey of making a house a home.
सुबह की प्यारी सी धूप और खिलखिलाता आंगन, दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और प्यार से बनाए खाने की सुगंध। मैं सबके साथ हूँ, सबकी जुबान पर हूँ, सबके स्वाद में हूँ। MDH गरम मसाला, असली मसालों से भरा हूँ मैं।
MDH गरम मसाला, क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
When your loved ones go through the pain of shingles, let me feel like the pain of a lot of nails piercing your body, or an unbearable burning sensation, or an electric shock-like pain at every moment. Then you would feel their pain, wouldn't you?
Every 1 in 3 people aged 50 years or above may develop shingles. But it is possible to protect your loved ones from shingles through vaccination.
So to know more about shingles and prevention, consult your doctor today.
तुम सिविल लाइंस जाना, तुम MG रोड, समझ गए?
वाह मामू, मिठाइयों की डिलीवरी चल रही है। CID की प्लानिंग।
डिलीवरी नहीं बेटा, सब अलग-अलग बैंक जा रहे हैं।
ऐसा क्यों? AU करंट अकाउंट पे सब मिलता है। मामू, सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। AU स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
Burning question, powered by Sarah.
सबसे पहले तो मैं सभी आपके और आपके सभी साथियों को बधाई देता हूं। एक सुखरूप हम इतने संकट के बाद भी निकल पाए।
After 17 days of tireless efforts, all the 41 workers have been rescued to safety. The Prime Minister earlier has lauded all these rescue warriors. Rescued workers later have been airlifted to AIIMS Rishikesh for medical checkup. The doctors say they all, for the moment, look good.
आज इस सभा में कह कर जाता हूं, ममता दीदी, सीएए देश का कानून है, इसको कोई रोक नहीं सकता और हम सीएए को लागू कर रहे हैं.
In Kolkata, Amit Shah making a big declaration. He says nobody can stop the CA implementation now. It's a mega face-off over Shubhendu Adhikari's suspension. The BJP stages a protest. The TMC also counters that protest. In a historic milestone, Manipur's armed group, the UNLF, lays down weapons, signs a peace accord with the government. With less than 20 hours to go, the countdown for the high-stakes Telangana battle has now begun. So the rescue, ladies and gentlemen, is over. We have shined the spotlight on all the people who are heroes in their own right. Also remember, it has to be a government initiative that has ensured that all these lions and all people who have different interests, different entities, different groups got together to ensure just one aim, that all the 41 workers who were trapped in the tunnel for the last 17 days were rescued to safety. Now, after the rescue, the obvious focus should have been about how these workers carried on in the last many days. What is it that happens post their rescue? Will they be rehabilitated quickly? What are the concerns that one must look at? And also, important questions about safety audits, about other norms. Were they flouted? And how to ensure that an incident like this is never ever repeated? But then, what has happened in the last few hours is significant. Now, I just want to read quickly a comment that has come in from a Congress MP. His name is Pramod Tiwari. He says, and allow me to quote him, he says, "Our country has reached the moon, but we could not reach 50 meters, he says, in 17 days, unquote." Now, clearly, this gentleman is not aware that, working in a situation like our teams was working isn't easy. They used machines, they used the best of technology, but then everything has its own challenges, everything has the own plus and minus. Jairam Ramesh from the Congress, who's also been a former environment minister, he argues, and again I'm quoting him now, he says thorough audit must or put on hold future projects in the Himalayan region, unquote. Now he is talking of what needs to be done about the audit and about the other safety implementation techniques. But then in the middle of all this, the opposition today also has a huge problem with the fact that it's a Narendra Modi-led government that supervised everything. It's a Narendra Modi-led government that also ensured that different agencies who otherwise might not work in tandem ensured that all of them come together, they converge with just one idea, the safety of our fellow citizens. They have a problem that the Prime Minister is walking away with all the credit. But the question we are asking, is this really about a credit war? Or there is again that deep-rooted politics? Is it okay to ask questions about safety, about audits, about a lot of other things? But then, is it okay to politicize what has happened? First up, let's play out the entire story, and then we'll get in a panel of guests and experts to debate exactly that.
After 17 days and 400 hours of relentless rescue operations, 41 trapped workers were rescued last evening in a heroic operation. And what acted as a strong pillar to the operation was support and leadership of Prime Minister.
I can confess to you that the Prime Minister was personally monitoring this throughout. I was in touch with the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. Mishra, who was a source of great strength He was the one receiving the instructions, all the directions which were coming. He was the one holding the conferences, and there were not too many conferences, I can tell you, Arnab. I think the huge thing here was the trust which was somehow seemed to exist.
As soon as the PMO received information about the tunnel collapse on November the 12th, Prime Minister Modi was informed. Since then, the Prime Minister and his office closely monitored the situation. Prime Minister Modi was regularly in touch with the officials on ground and Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami getting updates about the progress. Soon after all the workers were rescued, the Prime Minister put out a heartfelt note. Terming the success of the tunnel rescue operation as an emotional moment, Prime Minister Modi lauded the courage and patience of the trapped workers, calling it an inspiration to everyone.
आपने ठीक कहा, कैबिनेट में उसका विषय भी आया, प्रधानमंत्री जी बहुत भावुक भी थे और एक होल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट या पूरा देश जैसे एक तरह से आप सबकी दुआएं भी साथ में थी और हर तरह के प्रयास एक जान बचाने के लिए किया गया.
Prime Minister Modi also had a 15-minute phone conversation with the workers who were rescued.
सबसे पहले तो मैं सभी आपके और आपके सभी साथियों को बधाई देता हूं. एक सुखरूप हम इतने संकट के बाद भी निकल पाए और मेरे लिए तो बहुत ही खुशी की बात है. मैं शब्दों में वर्णन भी नहीं कर सकता हूं, वरना कुछ भी बुरा हो जाता तो शायद मन को इतनी कैसे संभाल पाते कहना कठिन था. ये केदारनाथ बाबा की, बद्रीनाथ भगवान की कृपा रही कि हम सब स्वकुशल आप लोग आए हैं.
From Balasore train mishap to Uttarakhand tunnel rescue, Prime Minister Modi has sent a clear message. Life of every Indian is precious. Bureau report for Republic TV.
And Pramod Tiwari, the Congress MP, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, has also asked that why did it take 17 days in spite of the fact that we have reached the moon? I let you, the viewer, also just sink in that question and then to analyze a situation as challenging as we have seen in the last many days. But there is a good amount of opposition that has happened on the entire issue, good amount of politics, and that's the reason why it's important to put out bare facts. Let's also get into the panel. Savio, who is the chief editor of the Goa Chronicle, he leans towards the BJP. We also have Gyanendra Mishra ji, who's a political analyst on the show. Vijay Grover ji is a senior journalist also on the show. And Monojit is completing our panel. He's also a political analyst. He leans towards the TMC. As I say, good evening to all of you, Monojit. Do you have any problem with everyone saying, let's credit the Prime Minister for ensuring that something like this could happen, multi-agencies could work together seamlessly, Monojit, to ensure that our fellow citizens have been able to see the light of the day and they've been able to come out and breathe fresh air? Monojit.
First of all, I salute to the laborers who became a kind of liberators here. It's their job, they risk their life. The laborers who are stuck in the tunnel, the other side of the tunnel for 17 days, and the laborers who ultimately liberated them. So it's a kind of liberation by the labor class, by the laborers. No credit goes for me, no credit goes to the political class as such. It is the job of the people who are on the ground, risking their life, and their families, their friends who have been sleepless for the last 17 days, is a credit to them. The political class has got the tendency to take credit for every other thing. And when negatives happen, they don't take the credit for that. I'm not going to talk about what happened in Gujarat before the elections, that bridge collapse while 141 people were killed. I'm not going to talk about the rail accidents that happened a few months back in the East Coast Express, and even recently, where again nearly 200 people were killed. So these are disasters which are happening under the nose of the government. I'm not going to politicize these things, but for this also, this humongous effort of the labor class, of the laborers, and I should say the have-nots, and who were being supervised by the officers, primary credit goes to them only, not to any political class whatsoever.
Okay. Okay, Monojit, interesting that you say this, and I will quickly get Gyanendra ji to respond to that, and then Savio will, respond at the end. just last evening, I think, Mamata Banerjee, close to about 5 p.m. Monojit, she tweeted something. I just want to bring this out because you said that netas must not politicize, and clearly, I second that sentiment. She said, I've rushed a team to Uttarkashi for helping our people. The team led by so-and-so will help evacuation, safe return of the trapped workers in the tunnel at Silkiara, Uttarkashi to their homes in West Bengal. Then she mentioned certain mobile numbers. And she also gave details of, which are the cars, the vehicles that they are using, mentioning all those details, mobile number again and again. And she says the shoring also put. So when Mamata Banerjee tweeted this, Monojit, was she playing politics or she was genuinely being concerned?
Absolutely. She was not doing it to take credit. She did not say anything of that sort. Because of that, because of her, these things happen. It was post-operation part, which is incumbent upon the Chief Minister of the state, because 3 of the Bengalis were also trapped out there. They were, staying near Calcutta. It was incumbent upon the Chief Minister, who believes that this is service to these people. She is not going to take any credit or ask. She is not going to ask for any credit for that. Her life is.
Apologies, I'm interrupting you here. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. If every state chief minister, Gyanendra ji, is going to be thinking about, oh, मेरे state से इतने लोग गए हैं, तो उन लोगों को लाने के लिए हम लोग मदद करेंगे, that becomes a problem. The Prime Minister, being the head of the country, Gyanendra ji, has a duty towards all, and that's exactly what he did. Now, help me understand if you believe that what Pramod Tiwari ji has said today is right. He said, and I quote him again, and we'll also put out that reaction for our viewers in just a moment. Gyanendra ji, he says, our country has reached the moon. We could not reach 50 meters, he says, in 17 days. Gyanendra ji.
No, thanks for having me on this show. I would agree that this is a moment of a huge relaxation for all of us, and any attempt by any political party to hijack the credit and attention which should have been gone to the common people of India, who has shown the kind of perseverance,
who's playing
the
politics?
kind of courage,
Gyanendra ji. Let's be very clear. Let's not mince our words. People are watching. This is a story that has moved the country. In the last 17 days, the only story that everyone was concerned about, कि ये workers बाहर निकले या नहीं. Now tell me, who according to you is playing politics?
No, I think everybody is playing the politics, and look at the spectacular of taking the political credit since yesterday, the moment the miners, trapped miners, get out of the cave, you look at the attempt to take the political credit where the head of the rescue operation is being coaxed to almost name the Prime Minister by asking that what was the Prime Minister doing, whether the Prime Minister was directly monitoring the operations, whether he was involved in day-to-day. And he rightly said that, yes, there wasn't monitoring of the operation from PMO, but there was not many conferences or many discussions which has happened with the PMO in terms of monitoring and guiding the rescue operation, which is very understandable. Because obviously the Prime Minister is not an expert.
That's what I'm saying, Gyanendra ji. It's rich, You're undermining the effort. You're undermining the effort, sir, of a lot of these heroes. A lot of these heroes do not wear capes, but when they know कि मुख्यमंत्री या प्रधानमंत्री उनको देख रहे हैं, उनसे बातचीत कर रहे हैं, लगातार सब कुछ मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं. I mean, what do you believe kept these 41 workers going? The very hope that the country will stand with them, the country will ensure, Gyanendra ji, that they are evacuated to safety as soon as possible.
That's the point. And I think the entire country was united. All different agencies, states, all extended the full cooperation.
So why can't you be united? That's exactly what I'm asking. Why can't a small panel of 4 people also be united? Okay, before I get in Savio to respond to all this, let me also get in Vijay Groverji for his understanding of how he sees everything. He's not related to a political party, so it's important, sir. Gyanendra ji, I will come back to you. Vijay sir, what according to you What,
one
according to
political
you, has
party,
been the biggest takeaway
when
from
one
this rescue
political,
operation, Vijayji?
when one
And also, no, Gyanendra please don't heckle. Please don't heckle. Please allow me to ask a question. We have enough time. We'll come back to all of you. And please, politics is not what we must put our focus on. Vijayji, is it fair for the Congress MP, Pramod Tiwari, to say that चांद तक तो पहुंच गए, लेकिन इन 41 लोगों को 17 दिन में नहीं निकाल पाए? I mean, does he really understand what he is talking about?
Deepti, it's very unfortunate that a statement of this kind has come from a political actor who understands, what sentiments of people are. And to make this kind of a comment, he may be trying to take a dig at the government. But the fact is that this is not the time and this is not the way to take a dig at the government, for the simple fact that the kind of effort that everybody, be it Qureshi, the man who first reached over there, or be it Ata Hussain, or be it Pushkar Singh Dhami, or NDRF team, Army, Air Force, everybody did their bit. And that is something that needs to be respected and saluted. While the political parties, yes, they may have their, brownie points to score, but this is not the time, this is not the place. But, in the same breath, I also want to say that most of us, the common people of this country, are concerned that, why there were these lapses, and if there is a safety audit which needs to be done, or if there's a thorough inquiry that needs to be done as to what was compromised. I'm sure this tragedy has happened. It's happened because of some safety neglects. And that safety neglects need to be brought to book so that it does not happen. And as you said in the beginning of the show, that everybody wants to know what went wrong, why it went wrong, whether the contractor was greedy, or it was a substandard quality of work that happened. So all these things need to come out, but nobody has the right to make fun of the effort of every person who contributed. And yes, I say, Prime Minister is taking credit or the PM was taking credit, they have every right to, because, putting together these agencies, you need the government to put together agencies and, ensure that work happens smoothly. And that is where, if there is the Prime Minister is spoken, or, Pushkar Singh Dhami, or any other politician is coming forward, they have had to play a role, and they played a role very silently without, hijacking this entire thing. But clearly, at the front of this fight were people, the rat miners, be it the Air Force, which flew in the equipment, or, the auger machine, Mr. Dix, whoever was there, everybody did their bit. And nobody should make fun of anything that went wrong, because this was something which was a huge challenge, and everybody has done a great work, and everybody in the country is relieved that these 41 people are united with their family. And let's not, try to make politics over it, but certainly it's a lesson for the future. And, all ongoing projects need to be checked for the safety audits.
I think that's a very balanced view that Vijayji has taken. Savio, would you want to respond to that? It's good, yes. It is only because of the leadership of the Prime Minister that you have seen all these wheels, the layers within layers moving, Savio. But in the last many, many days, forgive me, but I haven't seen any questions being raised on accountability, telling us who's behind the tunnel, who really were the contractors, were they even called in, were there cases registered against them, and will that even happen, Savio? We have to ensure something like this is never, ever repeated.
Dipti, let me, at the onset of my point of view, tell the people of the country that there were two young men from Goa who were also a part of that rescue team, and we're very proud of them. One was Amol Gudekar and the other one was Asif Mullah. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because in the rescue operation, there were people from across India who decided and were committed to ensuring that the lives of the 41 workers are saved. And they did it because we think as India, and we've been thinking as Indians over the last several years, where even one life is important for us to save. Having said that, let's look into the points of contention made by people within the opposition. Now, everybody within the opposition is talking about Prime Minister Modi taking credit of it. I think we need to clarify something here. The organization that was behind the rescue operation was the National Disaster Management Authority. And the head of the National Disaster Management Authority is the Prime Minister of India. And therefore, collectively, the NDMA and the Indian Armed Forces and various other people that were working on the rescue operations are equally are equal to take credit for the success of bringing the 41 workers out. Now, coming back to the third point, which is the most important point. Why did this disaster happen in the first place? And why is it important that in areas that are eco-sensitive, that the governments, both at the state and the center, must take a little bit more proactiveness and alertness over rampant development happening in different parts of such eco-sensitive areas, and Uttarakhand is one such area. You have seen devastation happen before by way of floods. You will see devastations happening ahead if we do not have a very controlled and a very cured measure to the infrastructure developments that we are doing there. So that is an issue that the government must investigate and must find out what led to it. But right now, it is important for us to be grateful that 41 workers are rescued, and there's been a collective effort where different machineries across the different states in India came together, including institutions such as the railways, came together to deliver and rescue these 41 workers. And it's a momentous time for India at this point of time with such an effort.
Okay. All right. So, Savio, Gyanendraji, Vijayji and Monuji, we have another reaction that has come in from Manoj Jha. He is also a member of parliament. He represents the RJD. I think it's important also to listen into what he says, because it is just not the Congress and it's just not, many other political parties. There are a string of them. The problem is, Monuji, that the moment you see Narendra Modi, in the pictures there, talking to the workers, Pushkar Singh Dhami on the other side, leading the rescue efforts, you say कि यार ये तो इससे ये दो लोग नजर आ रहे हैं, ममता बनर्जी भी नजर आनी चाहिए, सब मुख्यमंत्री नजर आने चाहिए. It's all about India at the end of the day, Monojit. But is this the time to play politics is my limited question. So we'll listen into what Manoj Jha has said and then we'll carry forward this conversation in just a minute.
मैं समझता हूं कि बेहद भावुक क्षण है कि हम ये कामयाब हुए. थैंक्स टू ऑल द रेस्क्यू टीम. मल्टीपल लेवल पे काम हुआ. मैं समझता हूं उनके जज्बे को भी सलाम, और उन मजदूरों को भी जिन्होंने इतने दिन तक धैर्य नहीं खोया. लेकिन इसके बाद कुछ महत्वपूर्ण सवाल बचते हैं. कंपनी किसकी है? परमिशन कैसे मिला? सेफ्टी गार्ड्स कैसे थे? स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर क्या है? क्योंकि देखिए, टनल से वो निकल के आ गए, कहानी यहीं खत्म नहीं हो जाती है. आपने माला पहनाया, बड़ी खुशी की बात है. लेकिन उस फ्रेजाइल इकोलॉजिकल जोन में इस तरह की परमिशन, टनलिंग कौन देता है? किसके इशारे पे ये चीजें होती हैं? ये महत्वपूर्ण है. देखिए, मेरा सीधा मानना है कि हम लोग तमाशा हर चीज का बनाते हैं. नहीं बनाना चाहिए. प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बात की, देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं भाई. ऐसा थोड़ी कि पहली बार ऐसा कुछ हुआ है और पहली बार इस तरह की. ये हमें एक टेंट शामियाना लगा करके हर चीज में इवेंट बाजी की आदत हो गई है. वो अपने घर जाए मजदूर, महफूज रहें और आगे कोई जिंदगी किसी पूंजीपति के लोभ और लालच का शिकार ना हो.
So Manoj Jha argues, Savio, कि भाजपा ने इसको एक तमाशा बनाया है. If I just translate this, he's trying to say that you are managing the event, because he also asserts that had it been any other prime minister, any other government, wouldn't that government have also ensured, Savio, that all our men could be rescued to safety, Savio?
But I'd like to believe that, Dipti, as far as the other governments are concerned, but I've been greatly disturbed when I go back to the Bhopal gas tragedy, where 15,000 people, our people, died, and the person responsible for that was wheeled away in a car belonging to the political leader of one of the opposition parties at that point of time and put on a plane. I certainly believe that India and Indians have come together before. It's not the first time. But to say that political leaders before have done this out of this immense belief for the people alone, the Bhopal caste tragedy is the classic example. What happened? 15,000 people were dead. Have they got justice yet? That person was put in a car belonging to a political leader and he flew away. So they should not be preaching to the people of India about what is right and what is wrong. I'm saying this again. The organization responsible for the success is India. India is that organization. People of India came together and, in short, from different parts of the country, came together, used their skill. There was even an international expert that was brought in using his skill. Because the most important thing to us at that point of time, as a nation, should and will always be the rescue of the people. Okay. So I don't know what is the need to play politics around it.
You know, Savio.
And the NDMA, like I said earlier,
okay, Monojit wants to counter. And I also want to quickly, briefly make a point, Savio. We talk of the Bhopal gas tragedy. You know, yes, questions will be asked, and those were incriminating details that were put out in public domain, and no answers, Monojit. We do not have Gyanendra ji right now. But Monojit, you know, that's also a valid point. But Savio, when you make that, you know, I do remember the Morbi tragedy also. I do not know whether any culpability has been fixed.
Yes, exactly. That was my point.
A lot of people, you know, again, who were inconsequential. Inconsequential people lost their lives.
Yes. In fact,
but we did not talk about it as much as we should have. So, Monojit, but what Savio says is partly right. That this is about the country coming together. You know, this is the spirit, Monojit, of the country. To say कि ये वेस्ट बंगाल, ये उड़ीसा, ये तमाम अलग-अलग राज्यों में आप देश को बांट देते हैं और उसके बाद आपको दिक्कत होती है कि प्रधानमंत्री क्योंकि टॉप पर है वो सब कुछ सुपरवाइज करते हैं. You say that is politics and he is taking credit, Monojit.
No. First of all, we have come a long way from Bhopal tragedy. That was a humongous tragedy. But now the whole thing has changed because of technological progress.
But no one paid a price for it, Monojit. No one paid a price for it. Those people who were seen ensuring that Warren Anderson was, you know, he was given that safe passage out of the country. Were people made to pay the price for it? No.
Similarly, last year, this Moribit tragedy happened, bridge collapse. Who has been punished? Who has got the punishment for the Moribit tragedy?
So everyone is the same, no, Monojit? That's the problem. Human lives don't matter. Are you trying to say human lives don't matter? We just fight for the credit.
East Coast Express tragedy in Odisha, few months back, in the month of May. Who has been punished for that? Just 6 months back, we had that humongous train tragedy where
Savio wants to respond, I think, quickly.
Incidentally, Mamta Di was the first chief minister to go there. Despite the fact that it was a different state, she was the first chief minister to go there.
Savio wants to quickly respond.
Let us not say that
it's only one. And also, I'm being told that these are live images right now coming in from the chief minister's residence, where there is a celebration of sorts happening. There is a Diwali, a belated Diwali happening, Monojit. Monojit, spare your thought. Spare your thought just for a moment. You know, think about the families who did not know whether their loved ones are going to come back or not. Please, let's put our focus on them instead of this politics, Savio.
No, we are, but the next part also has to be taken into consideration. This must not be repeated.
So when you want to talk about the Morbi tragedy, let me be categorically clear that those who are responsible for the Morbi tragedy, it is something that I have made my point very clear. They need to be taken to task. In fact, the problem with the Morbi tragedy was that it was not a tender process. It was a nomination process. And that needs to be investigated and brought to a logical conclusion. But that does not change the fact that India yesterday was working together to save fellow Indians. That's the most important part. So yes, governments are responsible for their people, and it's good that for the first time in a long time that every person across India was praying for those people trapped in that tunnel. And therefore, you had that immense faith, that immense devotion of every person in India that ensured that the 41 workers were saved. And that is what happens. Governments are culpable and responsible for a tragedy that happens, and that must be the stand of the people of India.
Monojit Singh, Monojit, the focus first now was to ensure the safety and the well-being of all these laborers who were trapped. Now that they are out, Monojit, that is going to be the next obvious question of accountability. But I want to get in Vijayji also here into the conversation. Politicians apart, Monojit, before you come in. Now, Vijayji, I remember a classic situation, you know, in journalism, when you have netas going to such spots which are so vulnerable, which are active sites, a lot of political parties will say this is vulture tourism. You know, these are political parties going there to ensure that they come in cameras, they give reactions. But, I mean, can we take away from the fact that had it not been for the direction that have come in from the topmost, and had it not been for the fact that a minister is deputed there 24/7, the chief minister is supervising everything, had this been possible then, Vijayji? Vijay sir, we can't hear you. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. We know very well the way the government and the bureaucracy functions in India, that there needs to be political supervision, be it even the basic street cleaning. You only see when the VVIP is coming that you see the area gets clean. Here was a task to save 41 lives. And you know, the fact that if there was a union minister sitting there or the CM was supervising it 24/7, it was only adding to the pressure, adding to the responsibility on the shoulders of the people. And that is something that cannot be, you know, forgiven or forgotten. What has happened between yesterday and today, let me tell you, it's a festival of celebrating life. The lives of these 41 people for which the entire country prayed. We need to respect that, and, you know, maybe politics can wait. I'm not saying that the opposition has no right to question. Certainly the questions are there in people's mind as well. That, you know, the contractor, the guilty if they are, the lapses which have happened, which led to the tunnel caving in, everything needs to be brought to book. But there is a certain time for it. You know, you cannot immediately start pelting stones and, you know, start questioning the thing. But yes, the opposition is doing its duty to, you know, ask questions the way Jairam Ramesh has asked for a safety audit. We respect everything like that. But to taunt or to, you know, make a comment or a nasty mockery of this entire thing, that certainly is not the way to attract attention. There are motor mouths in every political party, but they should not be given the kind of importance. And that is where, you know, let's remember politicians are a part of the government, and their presence over there moves the machinery in a better way. And that is something that you can think. My one basic question is today, you know, if there is question being raised, is Prime Minister Modi walking away with credit? What would have happened in case, God forbid, we had not the celebration of life today?
It failed.
Then who would have taken the blame, or who would have been blamed for this entire kind of thing?
Correct.
So there is always the other side of the coin that needs to be looked at, and that's something which we should not forget before we, you know, raise questions on this. But for the moment, yes, two basic things. One, let's respect effort of every individual directly involved or indirectly involved in this entire thing, including the politician. The second thing is the nation must know that, you know, this is something where this kind of thing should not be allowed to happen, because clearly safety cannot be compromised in any project. Unfortunately, we have a very bad track record as a country in road safety and also industrial safety, and we should not, you know, let things be what they are and try to improve these records. And that's something where collectively everybody, every political party, every individual will have to contribute to that kind of a thing, that safety cannot be compromised, so that we do not have these kind of, you know, anxious 17 days where everybody was holding his breath and praying for the safe return of these people.
I think those are very good points, sir, that you have raised. I'm not sure if Gyanendra ji is back because I would want to ask him a question, but because you've asked that question, I think we must get Monojit to respond to that. Okay, I think Gyanendra ji is also there. So quickly to both of you, Monojit, to you first. Vijay ji is asking कि अगर सब कुछ अच्छा हो गया तो you have a problem with the Prime Minister and you have a problem with crediting the Prime Minister of the country. But God forbid, had this operation failed, we wouldn't have achieved success. You would have said ना कि प्रधानमंत्री, I remember on one of my debates only you said कि प्रधानमंत्री के पास समय नहीं है वहाँ जाने के लिए, प्रधानमंत्री कुछ कर नहीं रहे. So you run with the hare, you hunt with the hound, but only because you're in the opposition and because you have to be anti-Modi all the time. So, I mean, you can't even spare a thought for people today who are just receiving the loved ones after 17 days.
I gave
Monojit first and then Gyanendra.
I gave 2 examples of very big tragedies which happened within a span of 1 year. One is Morbid tragedy and the other is the train accident that happened 6 months back. So these are tragedy. Did anyone, forget about the Prime Minister, did even the Rail Minister and the Chief Minister of Gujarat, did they take responsibility, moral responsibility? And did they resign? Did even any head roll after those tragedies? I want to know. So, why like the question of hating the Prime Minister? He is our Prime Minister. He should be doing what he has done. That's the job of every Prime Minister. Had it been any other state, the Chief Minister would have been swinging into action. It is as simple as that. There's nothing very unusual about it. That's something that the minimum these public servants should do. That's what they are elected for. They run on our money. They run on yours and my money. So there's nothing absolutely unusual about it. But when tragedy happens, I gave example of 2 very big tragedies in the 1 year. Nobody takes responsibility. Nobody takes even moral responsibility. Forget about that. Okay. Politicians are
because
not
Monojit, you want to do this. You want to do this. So I have just Googled. There was a Kolkata bridge collapse in 2018.
Can I come in?
There was this 2018 Kolkata bridge collapse. Did anyone resign?
Only one unfortunate death.
Only one person died. Are you telling me, Monojit, that only one person died, so no resignations required? I mean, come on.
No, hang on.
No, that's the problem.
That 70 years old bridge. That was a 70 years old bridge, right? One unfortunate day.
You're justifying it. So it had to collapse and one person had to die. Because Purana bridge hai, usko repair nahi karenge. We will not ensure that there are safety audits. We will not ensure that heads roll even at the end of that collapse. Monojit, you've answered my question. You've answered my question that this is only politics. This is not about the value of human life. Gyanendra ji, the same question to you that Monojit sidestepped. Because everything, touchwood, has been good and these workers have been rescued, so there is a credit war. But God forbid if things would have not turned out, Gyanendra ji, the way they did, would you have not questioned the Prime Minister?
So that is the point, and this is the point I'm trying to make, that our politician across the party line has an scant regard for the safety, security of a common man. There are several serious accidents happening where hundreds and thousands of people have lost their life. But what are the lessons that we have learned from that, and what curative and remedial actions have been taken? You talk about any incident, and since the incident has happened recently, obviously we will have to talk about what has happened in Mauri bridge cases. How many people have been arrested? Is any people put in jail? Whether any corrective actions have been taken? The same thing can be talked about the multiple railway accident which has happened. And yes, the accident which has happened in Kolkata as well. The railway bridge that collapsed there, the footover bridge that collapsed there in Kolkata, in Mumbai.
No, but the point is, Gyanendra ji, there have to be costs, no? You have to put in costs at all these netas who believe that they can play politics. Pramod Tiwari, who I do not know whether he does understand the kind of efforts that goes into ensuring that men are evacuated to safety, saying कि चंद्रयान पर पहुंच गए, लेकिन यहाँ पर कुछ मीटर की दूरी नहीं पूरी कर पाए ना. So the Congress needs to pull him up.
No, you
When
don't. You
Kolkata
don't,
bridge
you
collapsed,
don't
the
allow
Prime
me to
Minister
complete
played.
my
Gyanendra ji.
point. That's the whole point. So the point is,
I
and
mean,
why the people are questioning, and why the
I've given you
opposition.
enough time, sir. We just lost your connection midway.
Why the opposition?
But
why the
I don't
opposition
need
leaders are
lectures. That's
questioning?
exactly what I'm telling you. Ideally, it's everyone's responsibility, whether it is the BJP, the Congress, the Trinamool, the many other governments in different states, to ensure safety of every individual. You can't come on the show. You can't come on the show, sir, and tell me कि पुराना ब्रिज था, सिर्फ एक पर्सन की डेथ हुई है, तो रेजिग्नेशंस नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन यहाँ पर क्योंकि 41 workers were trapped, the Prime Minister ensured that everyone comes out safely. He monitored a program. And then you will say the Prime Minister is walking away with all the credit. So please look yourself in the mirror, sir. And for the moment, no, Gyanendra ji, for the moment, just think, let's spare a thought for all these families, for all the rescue workers. A lot of these heroes, like I say, are not wearing capes. Let's please recognize their effort. Stop this politics, because this is not what the country wants. I want to thank Savio, Gyanendra ji, Vijay ji and Monujeet for their time, as we'll continue our focus on that big story heading into a break now.
Powered by Sera. This is your space. Play it your way.
Amity University has been conferred the Intellectual Property Award 2023 by the Confederation of Indian Industry CII for its patent portfolio, a reflection of Amity's commitment to research and innovation. With over 250 granted patents, 33 faculty in the Stanford top 2% scientists of the world, and an H index of 133.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
Experience recrafted luxury with the BMW 6 Series Gran Turismo. Drive home your BMW at rupees 64,999 per month at a low interest rate of 6.99%.
जामनगर की भट्ट फैमिली को तारे देखना पसंद है. जम्मू की भट्ट फैमिली को सितारे देखना पसंद है. फैमिलीज जितनी भी सेम लगे, होती अलग है. इसलिए नया वीमैक्स पोस्टपेड जो दे हर फैमिली को उनकी पसंद की चॉइसेस, जैसे ईज माई ट्रिप, Amazon Prime एंड मोर. वीमैक्स पोस्टपेड, चूज व्हाट यू वांट टू यूज.
Muthoot Mini presents Lucky Draw Contest. Get a gold loan and stand the chance to win a car, scooters, gold coins and many other attractive prizes. Get gold loan. Hurry! Muthoot Mini stands by you always.
क्या आप जानते हैं बेहतर जीवन शैली वाली टॉप स्मार्ट सिटी है अपने उत्तर प्रदेश की वाराणसी. इंडिया स्मार्ट सिटी कॉन्क्लेव 2023 में वाराणसी को माननीय राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू के कर कमलों से नॉर्थ जोन की टॉप स्मार्ट सिटी होने का सम्मान हासिल हुआ. ये कमाल है माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ के उस विजन का, जिसकी बदौलत उत्तर प्रदेश स्मार्ट प्रदेश बनता जा रहा है. स्मार्ट सिटी कॉन्क्लेव 2023 में 10 विभिन्न श्रेणियों में अचीवर स्टेट है नए भारत का नया उत्तर प्रदेश. देश में सर्वश्रेष्ठ राज्य की श्रेणी में उत्तर प्रदेश और स्मार्ट शहरों की नेशनल रैंकिंग में आगरा ने टॉप 3 पोजीशन प्राप्त की है. बेहतर जीवन शैली का ये परिवेश बना है आधुनिक भारत के शिल्पी यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन से. स्मार्ट सिटी का उपहार, डबल इंजन की सरकार.
Hi Suzuki, play my song.
It's hard to take it, hard to take it, hard to take it.
all-new hot and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.
Supreme's over 9,000 and more plumbing and drainage products and water tanks are made from high-quality raw materials and innovative designs. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, with you for a lifetime.
इसको तो फुटबॉल खेलना भी आ गया और इससे तो पियानो बजाने भी आ गया।
चंद्रयान भी उतर गया चांद पर हमें
अब तक टेस्टी राजमा बनाना नहीं आया।
बिना MDH राजमा मसाला के टेस्टी राजमा कैसे बनेगा?
स्वादिष्ट राजमा के लिए MDH राजमा मसाला।
क्या स्वादिष्ट राजमा बनाए?
MDH।
When your loved ones go through the pain of shingles, let me feel like the pain of a lot of nails piercing your body, or an unbearable burning sensation, or an electric shock-like pain at every moment, then you would feel their pain, wouldn't you?
Every 1 in 3 people aged 50 years or above may develop shingles. But it is possible to protect your loved ones from shingles through vaccination.
So to know more about shingles and prevention, consult your doctor today.
This is your space.
Play it your way.
With the versatile range of sanitary ware, faucets and tiles by Sarah.
What you're missing on the inside is waiting for you out there. Write the missing part of your story. The new Safari. Reclaim your life.
Welcome to AU Video Banking. यहाँ बैंक के सारे काम हो सकते हैं। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। AU स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
मोदी सरकार की गारंटी, कोई नहीं रहेगा भूखा। हर महीने 80 करोड़ लोगों को मिल रहा है मुफ्त राशन। हमारा संकल्प विकसित भारत।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और प्यार से बनाए खाने की सुगंध। मैं सबके साथ हूँ, सबकी जुबान पर हूँ, सबके स्वाद में हूँ। MDH गरम मसाला, असली मसालों से भरा हूँ मैं।
MDH गरम मसाला, क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
पहले मैं जिद्दी थी, अब आप अड़ जाते हो। पहले मैं नहीं समझती थी, अब आप वक्त लगाते हो। नजरें चाहे हों दो, है सपना एक ही हमारा।
सपने आपके, लैमिनेट्स हमारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ड्रीम लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा।
Experience elevated grandness with the most luxurious and supremely comfortable BMW 3 Series Grand Limousine. Bring home India's best-selling luxury sedan at rupees 59,999 per month.
Powered by Reva University, a social impact multidisciplinary university. Century Ply Club Prime, रहो बेफिक्र।
सपने आपके, लैमिनेट्स हमारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ड्रीम लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा।
Experience elevated grandness with the most luxurious and supremely comfortable BMW 3 Series Grand Limousine. Bring home India's best-selling luxury sedan at rupees 59,999 per month.
आपका बैंक सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे इंटरेस्ट देता है
3 महीने में एक बार।
मेरा AU हर महीने। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। AU स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
When your loved ones go through the pain of shingles, let me feel like the pain of a lot of nails piercing your body, or an unbearable burning sensation, or an electric shock-like pain at every moment, then you would feel their pain, wouldn't you?
Every 1 in 3 people aged 50 years or above may develop shingles. But it is possible to protect your loved ones from shingles through vaccination.
So to know more about shingles and prevention, consult your doctor today.
आंध्रा की वर्मा फैमिली को गरम भाजी पसंद है। आगरा की वर्मा फैमिली को धर्म भाजी पसंद है। फैमिलीज जितनी भी सेम लगे होती अलग है। इसलिए नया वीमैक्स पोस्टपेड जो दे हर फैमिली को उनकी पसंद की चॉइसेस, जैसे इजी डाइनर, डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार एंड मोर। वीमैक्स पोस्टपेड, चूज व्हाट यू वांट टू यूज।
Sarah, this is your space.
Play it your way.
Experience recrafted luxury with the BMW 6 Series Gran Turismo. Drive home your BMW at rupees 64,999 per month at a low interest rate of 6.99%.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और प्यार से बनाए खाने की सुगंध। मैं सबके साथ हूँ, सबकी जुबान पर हूँ, सबके स्वाद में हूँ। MDH गरम मसाला, असली मसालों से भरा हूँ मैं।
MDH गरम मसाला, क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
अरे क्या मैडम, कब से घंटी बजा रहा हूँ। मैडम जल्दी हाथ साफ करो ना, मेरे को लेट हो रहा है।
1 मिनट।
वाह, पिन नहीं लगा।
छोटी पेमेंट्स के लिए पिन नहीं लगता।
अच्छा।
No pin for small payments.
अब लेट नहीं हो रहा।
On PhonePe UPI Lite.
कैंट से पानी होता है 100% प्योर।
कैंट आरओ प्योरिटी दिखाता भी है।
कैंट देता है सबसे शुद्ध पानी।
4 walls don't make a home. A home is made with your loved ones and their dreams. After all, it is you who turns a house into a home. SBI Home Loans, always a friend in your journey of making a house a home.
बादलों पे चल के हवाओं से मिलके मैं बनाऊंगा, हौसलों को कस के तूफानों से लड़के मैं बनाऊंगा, रोशनी के टुकड़ों से अंधेरे को हरा के मैं बनाऊंगा, उम्मीदों के पंख कंधों पे लगा के मैं बनाऊंगा, बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत, बनाऊंगी मैं तो बनेगा भारत।
The vertical velocity is now being constantly reduced.
India is on the mode.
बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत, बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत, बनाऊंगा मैं तो।
स्किल, स्टील और दिल से बन रहा है भारत। AMNS India, smarter steels, brighter futures.
इसको तो फुटबॉल खेलना भी आ गया और इसे तो पियानो बजाने भी आ गया।
चंद्रयान भी उतर गया चांद पर हमें
अब तक टेस्टी राजमा बनाना नहीं आया।
बिना MDH राजमा मसाला के टेस्टी राजमा कैसे बनेगा?
स्वादिष्ट राजमा के लिए MDH राजमा मसाला।
क्या स्वादिष्ट राजमा बनाए?
MDH.
What you're missing on the inside is waiting for you out there. Write the missing part of your story. The new Safari. Reclaim your life.
पहले मैं जिद्दी थी, अब आप अड़ जाते हो। पहले मैं नहीं समझती थी, अब आप वक्त लगाते हो। नजरें चाहे हों दो, है सपना एक ही हमारा।
सपने आपके, लैमिनेट्स हमारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ड्रीमलैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा।
Muthoot Mini presents Lucky Draw Contest. Get Gold Loan. Hurry!
India proud of Uttarkashi heroes. Is the opposition twisting rescue ops to push a narrative? Opposition's myopic response to rescue ops. Arnab debates at 9 p.m.
राजस्थान की महिलाएं कांग्रेस सरकार को बर्दाश्त करने को तैयार नहीं है।
केसीआर ने पूरे देश में एक ही राज्य ऐसा है जहां रिलीजियस रिजर्वेशन दिया जाता है जो संविधान सम्मत नहीं है।
प्रधानमंत्री जी पैसा भेजते हैं, वह पैसा धरती पर यहाँ तेलंगाना में केसीआर की भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार नहीं लगाती।
All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi.
Amit Shah's big message in Kolkata.
ममता दीदी, सीएए देश का कानून है, इसको कोई रोक नहीं सकता और हम सीएए को लागू कर
On Mamta's turf, Shah gives CAA dare. CAA implementation soon. Arnab debates at 10 p.m.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.